Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Whispered Woods. Once again, my name is going to be Michaela, and time for another week of the diary. So, this week in Draft Diary, we had a fun matchup against a newer opponent named Duh. He is pretty close friends with the guy who runs Draft 2. Is actually my opponent next week. So, you know how it goes. Team should be right over here. But let's take a quick look at my roster for the week. It's honestly probably not that surprising. Injuries were all reset essentially, but I went in with Gasoline the Charizard, max special attack, max speed, almost max speed, little boost, some special defense, solar beam, flamethrower, air slash, roost. Now if you notice there's a Kyogre over there, we're just going to ignore that. Then emptiness machine, the chestnut again. We went leftovers, body press, leech seed, spiky shield, spikes with max HP, max defense, and the rest in attack. Concept here was to just start setting up to do a little bit of chip here and there because I have a lot of potential ways to win the matchup very quickly if this goes. Fade to Black, the Electivire. Choice band with Supercell Slam, Volt Switch, Earthquake, Knockoff, and Motor Drive. Looking at max speed, max attack, lot of physical or special bulk, and then speed. Honestly, here primarily in case Kyogre tried to shoot out a Thunder, or if he did anything else, which I don't remember actually whether or not that ends up coming up. Speaking of people who are back from injury, and oh boy, I am so thankful he is. Bye the Ambipom. Silk Scarf plus Technician plus Fake Out. I don't think I have to say anything else. I think that right there is enough of an explanation about what he does. But you will also see U-Turn, Knockoff, Triple Axle. I am in love with Ambipom, and it is 100% the Pokemon that I'm giving my regional contract to. To explain that, we get contracts based off the divisions we're in. I'm in the Hoenn division, but I did a trade to get a Sinnoh contract. So I can put a contract on any Pokemon that was native to Sinnoh. Ambipom is getting that contract. Devil Trigger the Glade, pretty typical build, max speed, max attack, adamant nature, Leaf Blade, Kyogre, plus Greninja, plus Basculegion even, Sacred Sword, Psycho Cut, Knockoff. Wasn't the craziest, but just generic support. And of course, Walking Wake. His name was Doflamingo, I don't know why it didn't save, that's weird. But we went Draco Meteor, Weather Ball, Flamethrower, Hydro Steam, typical 244 in special attack. That way we get our speed boost off of Photosynthesis with the rest in special defense. Honestly, it's nothing too crazy on it, just a solid build that I think was very helpful in this battle. Speaking of which, let's go into this battle now. So, you see my opponent has Pikachu, Kleavor, Blissey, Executor, Blaziken, and Kyogre. During my mock battles, I only saw 3 of these typically. People didn't really bring Blissey too much. It was mostly Kleavor, Blaziken, and Kyogre. Let's see how we did. So, setting up bases, we have Kleavor versus Chestnut. Turn 1, he goes for an agility. Cool. I got no problem with that. I'm going to start setting up my spikes because I resist most of his moves. Leech Seed, get my spikes going, and just start walling. Get 2 layers up. spiky shield. He goes in for Psycho Cut. Nothing on me. Get some more chip healing. He switches out for Blaziken. This turn I had selected, though, Body Press. I do not know whether or not that critical mattered. Honestly, I don't know if it mattered, but it definitely was an early swing in my favor. Executor comes in. I honestly clicked the entirely wrong move on there. I don't know what I was thinking, but I don't think I was thinking. I think I was just messing around too much. Body Press. Yep. He goes for Stored Power, and I think that crit maybe matters. I honestly don't know, though. I think that would have been enough to take me out regardless. But then we go into the GOAT. The greatest of all time. And this is why we had Triple Axle, specifically in case this Alolan Executor was brought. Because Ambipom does not take prisoners. He does not negotiate with terrorists. He just shows up and starts smacking things. Cleavor comes back out. Me, cool, I'ma just knock off your item. There goes your sash. Wasn't doing anything in this. U-turn, get the KO, and get the free switch out to set up whatever I need next. He went for Pikachu. I did not expect this, but honestly, it wasn't that horrible for me. I will say Extreme Speed Pikachu was a nuisance. Remember when I said Ambipom is the GOAT? Ambipom took out 3 individual Pokemon during this matchup. And honestly, the only reason it couldn't do more is because of this RNG. That paralysis hurt me so badly. Because I think Ambipom could have actually done a lot of work against Blissey. Because I get paralyzed, he goes for Tri-Attack. A knockoff there would have been really helpful. No, apparently Electivire's ability didn't pop up, but Electivire came through and started doing what it does. Went for the Fairy Tara, went for the Calm Mind, hit the knockoff. It's resisted, but I am choice banded, so this did still seem like a good idea. Walking Wake, predict the Origin Pulse, resist it. I don't take too much. Hit the Weather Ball, does a decent chunk. And honestly there, I could have predicted that he was going to go for Thunder and switch in Electivire, because then I would have had the speed boost over it. And in hindsight, would have been a very good play to go for, but I mean, at this point you can kind of tell the battle doesn't really matter too much, like whether or not I play it the best, but it definitely cost me in my differential, which isn't horrible. You'll see. Hits the Origin Pulse. Yep, takes me out. Go Charizard. Hit the Flamethrower. Get the W. So, if I had played it smarter and switched out Electivire instead of keeping in Doflamingo, I get the Thunder Boost. I'm pretty sure I outspeed, and I think I can potentially KO it from that range. Which means I would have won with 3 Pokemon left, not 1. So instead of being 2-2 with a -3, I would have been 2-2 with a -1 differential. Which, it happens. I could have played more optimally, and looking back on it, I can acknowledge those mistakes. Going through it this week, though, we did have 2 injury cards placed on us this week. Doflamingo got hit with a Toxic Spike injury, so it was out for 4 weeks. And Ambipom chipped a nail, so would have been out for 1 week. We have a pretty good medical facility here in the woods. We rubbed some dirt in it, and you know what? They got better. Doflamingo's only going to be out for 2 games, and Ambipom will be back at you. Potentially in the match I'm doing later tonight. We'll have to see. But I think that's about everything for here. I do just want to say, I thank everyone for the continued support. I know Battle City had a couple viewers this week, and I'm really excited about being able to bring that to you guys. It is a passion project of mine I've been working on for a while. The rules are still going to have to change a little bit. Honestly, I should probably make a video explaining how Battle City works, but you know, we think about these things after the fact. But that's going to be everything for today. I hope you all enjoyed the matchup and are excited to see what we can do next week against Chef Nando, aka the guy who runs the Draft League and the co-owner of the server as a whole. Me and him have a long-standing rivalry going back to the earliest days of him being a challenger when we were a gym server. But till then, my name is going to be Michaela, and thank you for getting lost in the woods with me today. Arrivederci.